Alright, Ms. Harris is here to, as I promised, help you with some tricks and tips on the graphing calculator. I'm going to be showing you how to do these three things, which is using scientific notation with the EE on the calculator, as well as entry recall, which is pretty easy, and answer recall. And I'm doing this with the TI-nspire, the 84 edition. At the bottom so you can see. So if you have something different, the way you do this should be similar, but I can only speak with 100% certainty with this particular calculator. So today we were going over electromagnetic radiation and some basic calculations with that. So here's one of the problems we were looking at. Part of the problem had you to calculate the frequency using the two wavelengths here for wave A and wave B, and then you have the speed of light, which is C, that'll go there. So how do we put all this in the calculator using these three things here? All right, well, first, we're not actually covering the technique on how to do the math, we're just covering how to put this in the calculator. So we want to calculate frequency for these problems, so you're going to be doing C divided by wavelength to get the frequency, right? So we need to put C, which is the speed of light, which is this number here, and we need to divide that by this other scientific notation number. So what I'm going to do is type in parentheses, and here we go with the speed of light, 3.00 times 10 to the 8th power. I'm actually, instead of doing that, I'm going to push second, and on the comma button you see the double E right above it. So when you push second, that's how you get the EE on the screen. You type that, and there's that single E. Yes, it says EE on the button. Always called that just exponential notation. So it puts one E right there. And now the exponent was to the 8th power, so you're just going to put the power, 8. I see people a lot of times, they do this, E to the power of 8. No, that's not what you're doing here. Okay, that's not correct. That's wrong. We're just doing 3 times 10 to the 8th power. So you're just going to type in the power, the exponent. So 8. Oh, it was 3.
How do we know that the number I am crunching is what is inside of the parentheses, the entire thing here? We're going to divide by the second number, which is 2.00 times 10 to the negative 4th power. So divide, open up new parentheses. Now we're going to type in 2.00 times 10 to the negative 4th. So you're going to do second E, and then type in negative 4, and close the parentheses. So again, to get to the E, you push the second button, and then push the comma button. That gives you that exponential E. Don't get confused with that single letter E. This goes with the rest of the letters for just typing characters in the screen, okay? For texting or whatever on the calculator. And then also, make sure that you're always using the negative sign for negative numbers and not the subtraction sign for negative numbers. These are two different things. You can remember that this is subtraction because it's with addition and multiplication and the rest of them, okay? Here you have the negative sign by itself. All right, so you put that in the calculator, and there's your answer for the first problem. So this 1.5 E12 would be written as 1.5 times 10 to the 12th power right here. So that's how that number comes out when you see the E on the calculator. Okay, now I need to do the second calculation, which is the same as the first. You're going to do C divided by this wavelength, but instead of dividing by this one, we're going to divide by the second wavelength for wave B, which is this number. But I'm really lazy, and I don't feel like having to type all of this again. So to get around that, we'll use entry recall.
So for that, you push the second button, and then you're going to push the button where it says entry, which is on the enter button. So you push that, so the calculator is going to retype for you what you typed in there previously. If you want to have the calculator type something you put in maybe 2 or 3 or 4 calculations back, you can just push the button again, and it'll run through everything that you type. Well, maybe only 2 or 3 or 4 of those things. Okay, I don't remember exactly how far it goes back. Looks like it goes back pretty far. I did not do 1 plus 2. That was not me. Just putting that out there. So anyway, but we're going to change that second number to 4e minus 4. So I scroll over and change that to 4. There we go. So here's your second answer for the second problem. 7.5 E11. That's 7.5. Sorry. I got too much junk on my desk. That's 7.5. E11 is 7.5 times 10 to the 11th power. That's what that means on the calculator. Now, what if I accidentally cleared my screen and I want my answers to pop up one more time for me to see? We can use the answer recall. So ANS, that's answer. So you want to push second. For answer recall, when you push second answer, it'll just show you what the last answer was that you put in there. It can't show you 2 or 3 or 4 answers back. You'll have to use entry recall, but if you cleared your screen and you didn't get to write your answer down, you can push second answer and it'll put your last answer back on the screen, or you can do entry recall and it'll put the whole thing you typed in back on the screen for you. Whatever. Anyway, that's it.